You're watching 24/7 Live Culture.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.
What's up, family? Back with another dope episode of BoomBox Weekly. Hey, we got a dope, soulful artist out of Camden, New Jersey, man. Remey Williams, thank you for joining the show, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, you're doing some big things, man. You got a nice sound, a nice voice. There on the East Coast. You know, we're here on the West Coast, so it's good to hear some East Coast talent, man, and be able to talk to you.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, East Coast music is fire, man. So
Yes, sir. You got somebody that is on your list here of people that you've kind of worked with here. DeMar Jackson, he actually did an interview with us in our platform here out in Louisiana. So good to
yeah,
have you there.
that's my guy, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
my guy.
Yes, sir. Let's learn more about you, man. So you came from Camden, New Jersey. Uh,
Mhm.
how does I haven't really heard too many artists coming out of Camden, New Jersey. So what sparked you in your music career, and who are some of the people that you kind of look up to in the business?
Um, okay. So the reason why I actually do music is my father. So my father, he was a musician. He played bass, and he was a studio musician for Gamble and Huff, but he also played for the OJs. So that was my introduction to music. I would be in his studio when they would have rehearsals, and he had like this octopad drum set, and I just sat on the drums one day, and it just came naturally to me. So my father was a musician, and my mother was a singer in church, so it was just like I got the best of both worlds. And yeah, that was pretty much my introduction to music, man, and I just stayed with it, and I've been consistent ever since. So
So Pops played for the OJs, man. I mean, that's a legendary stock right there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he had to
yeah.
pass down some dope gifts, man. That's not a bad place to learn.
Absolutely, man. And that's just one of many musicians, I mean, artists that he played for. He played, I mean, for Patti LaBelle, Sister Sledge, Teddy Pendergrass, a lot of the artists that fell under the Sounds of Philadelphia with Gamble and Huff, you know. So yeah, he's all over the R. He's been all over the R&B charts. So yeah.
Is he still involved in music to this day?
No, unfortunately, he passed a couple years
Okay.
ago. So
Okay.
yeah. Hmm.
Sorry, man. My condolences, for sure. And you carrying a legacy. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Absolutely.
your music, man, is touching. So I know he's proud. You know what I'm saying of what he's produced here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't now, I know he's not here anymore, so I can't embarrass him. He's taught me he's taught me too much in the music industry, with R&B, the music business. So I make sure that the legacy that he created, I make sure that I continue that legacy, and do it with um, nothing but being nothing but just being genuine and being authentic. And that's what he's still for within, the R&B music industry. So
Yeah, no, that's definitely a lot to come behind, man, and a strong legacy for sure. But as individuals, we're on a path to cement our own legacies here too. And
mhm.
let's talk about the legacy that you're looking to leave here while you're here, man.
Yeah.
What about your music? What is it that you're trying to get out of this, and how can you describe your sound to the fans?
How I can describe my sound is, um, I mean, it's basically just the music that I listened to growing up, Uh, I don't know about you, but for me, I can put on R&B music and some of those songs can solve problems in a relationship. It's like you could be the kind of guy that's outside with the boombox
Yeah.
and you're like, yo, baby, come back, please. And you got a certain song that you're listening to. There was chivalry in the
Yeah.
music. There were men who were being gentlemen. I mean, there were men who weren't ashamed or weren't embarrassed to show or pretty much be vulnerable in their
Right.
music. It's like you have begging and all that. So
Right.
that's the kind of R&B that I make. That's the kind of, songs and music that I perform, that I sing, that I write. And that's the legacy that I want uh to leave before I pass. My biggest thing is I want to I want to make music that heals, R&B. I want that kind of music that you can listen to my music with your significant other, and it can set the mood for the night. It can solve an issue, whatever you're going through. You could put that on and be like, you know what? Let me talk to my lady, and let's get this together. Let's get it right. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's real, man. Music is a vibration and a frequency here, and it influences people on a whole nother level,
Hmm.
in how we feel. So, kudos to you for putting out stuff that touches to one, your vulnerability as a person,
Hmm.
and being able to help people with going through several situations. You know what I'm saying? Whether, like you said, breakup or whether it's love, whatnot. Can you talk about what you would highlight as one of your favorite songs that people should listen to?
Well, man, it's crazy. So I mean, then my newest single, that's probably some of my greatest work, and location.
Yeah,
Uh, those are my two. Those are the two, newest singles. Um, I Want You, it represents vulnerability. It's just
yeah,
you talking about the love that you have for your significant other. You know what I mean? Just going down the list of all the things that made you fall in love with her. And
yeah,
location is just a sexy vibe. It's just like having that aggressive man, but still a gentleman and being like, yo, let's just pretend that it's just, me and you,
right.
and let's just make love wherever. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Love doesn't have one place where it's set.
Yeah.
So that's those are my favorite two. But out of those two, location is my favorite.
Okay, okay. So definitely check out location.
Hmm.
Came from all the way from Camden, New Jersey, and now you're out in Atlanta right now, which is
Yeah.
a top tier, vibrant music scene. Want to talk about your move from New Jersey and why you moved all the way out to Atlanta, and talk about the way that Atlanta has impacted your music right now.
Okay, so before I moved to Atlanta, I moved from Camden, New Jersey, and I went to college. I went to Wilberforce University.
Okay.
And at Wilberforce University, that's when I moved from Ohio to Atlanta. So I knew that Ohio wasn't the end all be all for me. I'm like, I got to get out of here because you got to go where, stuff is moving and shaking. So I always wanted to end up in Atlanta. That's where I wanted to live. That's where I wanted to pursue music. Um, and I've been so inspired, musically and just the culture here. I've Atlanta is the first time I've seen uh just a number of successful black people. I'm
Yeah.
talking about millionaires, entrepreneurs that are doing very well. And it pushed me to be like, you know what, if they can do this here, then I think I'll be all right. It's just about the amount of work and the effort that you put in, how bad you want it. So that's my reason for moving to Atlanta. And I love it here. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So obviously being in Atlanta around so much Black excellence is inspiring, and motivating. I mean, I've taken a few trips out there and I did feel the same way, just being what they would call like Black Hollywood, right?
right, right.
Say, and it's buzzing, man. So you've just dropped these new singles. What's next? Like, do you have a project that you're working on? You have some performances that you're going on tour to do?
Yeah, so I have a Christmas EP that's dropping soon. Um I don't want to give the date yet because we're still working on some stuff, but once we get everything lined up, everybody is going to know the date. But I have a Christmas EP coming out. Um and then I have a single that's going to be dropping at the top of the year, and we got a project on the way too. So, yeah.
Are you
I've been working.
like a quantity person pumping out more of a lot of music, or do you kind of like to space your stuff out and really focus on like just dropping singles at a time and gathering that audience?
I like to take my time. For me, I'm a quality over quantity kind of guy. It's like why put out I don't I look at music as like fast food.
Yeah.
or soulful, if you are constantly putting out just singles just to try to keep the momentum up, eventually, I don't know, you get burned out
Yeah.
and you wanna, for me, I'm like, I'd rather take some time to cook soulful meal that's filling
Yeah.
and that's timeless so people can listen back over and over again, and that gives you enough time to work on another project. And for me, I look at that as that's the formula. I don't just want to just drop music just because I know how to make music. I want it to have a meaning and I want it to have quality. So yeah.
No, that's real, to have a purpose behind what you're doing. And it
Yeah.
sounds like you're real authentic in your delivery here. If you could see yourself in 5 years, with this ever-changing music landscape, where would you see yourself?
Mm. In 5 years, I definitely see me. I've already won a Grammy by then.
Right.
Uh, I've already done tours. I've opened up for artists. I think I would be in my prime,
Yeah.
5 years from now. Uh, and I do have a bigger purpose than just doing music. Yes, I do music, but there's a bigger meaning to my music, right? I did talk to you about chivalry and just the gentleman. Um, I want to start my own like a community or my own company where I'm helping young men or mentoring young men to teach them the ropes as far as credit scores and how to tailor your suits. What cigar to, what cigar goes with this kind of drink or what kind of wine goes with this meal. I
Yeah.
think we haven't lost it because I know that there are some men that are doing that, but I think we need more of that. And I want to add on to that as well. So
Absolutely. Yeah, giving back to the next generation is big, man.
yeah.
And it's a must, you know what I'm saying, that we reach back
Mhm.
and pull up the people behind us, so
Mhm.
that we can keep these legacies and make some history here within our communities.
Yeah.
Talk about community, man, and what it means to you, especially being out in Atlanta where the community is very black, and
Mhm.
being able to, like you said, where does that come from? From the idea of you wanting to reach back and help the next man become a young man.
I believe that it comes from I have younger nephews, right? And for me, I'm their uncle, and I try to lead to be a great example. I try to show up because I know that they're watching me, and I want them to know that, yo, it is possible to be successful.
Right.
It is possible to say like, yo, this is my dream, and this is my goal, and I don't have to do what this person is doing over here just because at the moment it doesn't seem cool. You
Right.
know what I mean? And just learning and also getting comfortable with trusting self.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on about right now as far as in the world, as far as what young men are being shown every day through music videos, I mean, television, whatever. And if I can be at least a positive person to show a visual or to speak in front of them, then I'm doing my job. I'm living my purpose, you know?
And there's so many opportunities in this entertainment industry for you to be able to go viral and go with the flow of,
Yeah.
of how the mainstream hip hop wants you to go.
Hmm.
So what keeps you grounded? What keeps you saying, I'm gonna be authentic to me, regardless of whatever deals or opportunities may come your way?
I think it's just you've had a moment where you've hit rock bottom before, and you realize that all the people that you followed, and all the things that you thought was necessary to make it to be successful, it didn't matter at that in that moment. And um, as of right now, I just feel comfortable with just being me. And
Yeah.
maybe it's just my age now. You know what I mean? It's like the older you get, um, it's like it just seems like the less time it's like the less tolerant you become. It's like, yo, like I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You either real or you're not. And I just don't have time in my life right now to fake anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like being genuine
Yeah.
weeds out any and everything that you don't need in your life. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. No, that is very real. Being genuine is one of the biggest things that you can do, especially in this industry, where
Yeah,
and we're faced with so many different obstacles.
yes.
Talk about that. What are some obstacles that you've had to overcome to make your dream a success?
Mm. Um, Certain obstacles, I guess I can look at it as um I play for I play for a couple artists, and one obstacle that I had to get over was telling myself like, yo, you're not just a musician, you're an artist too.
Yeah,
Um, and you can put out music too. It's okay to put out music too as a musician while playing for this person and also being an artist. And I had to get out of my own way. In the beginning, I thought it was hard, and I was just like, the first album that I put out was my album 08105. And before I put it out, I had a lot of things that were going on. My father had passed around at that time. Um, just a lot of issues, man, that I was going through.
yeah,
And I just had to fight emotionally with myself and say, like, bro, you're worth it.
yeah.
You're talented. You're amazing. So do it. So that was the biggest obstacle. I was my biggest obstacle. And I had to move out of my own way. So,
And talk about the emotional state and how you overcame that. As a black man, we're kind of taught to repress our issues and our feelings at times. So
yeah.
how do you maneuver feeling down and allowing yourself to feel sad, but also coming out of that state to stay creative and keep it pushing?
Yeah. I used to sweep my emotions under the rug. And thank God for my wife. She would ask me at times, sometimes when you're in a relationship or whether it's the beginning, it could be any relationship, it's hard for a man to, it can be hard for a man to express their feelings because it can sometimes be a trust issue or just a level of comfortability. And for my wife feels like home. So for me, I had someone to vent to who wouldn't judge me. So when I finally did it, it was just a woosah moment for me. It was like, nah, I can tell this person anything. They won't look at me, judging me. And then if I needed advice, she'll give me advice, but she wouldn't necessarily just be like, well, this is what you need to do. She would listen and then she would ask me, would you like my advice? Which I appreciate her for. And yeah, and that just kind of just gave me the right balance to vent. I got it out my chest and let's make some music. Let's figure this out.
Now, have somebody to support you in that way is huge, and being able to lean on it and like you said, ask for advice. There's a lot of artists in this game that really don't have the mentorship and advice to navigate their careers. What
Mhm.
advice could you give to somebody that's upcoming and wants to make a career out of this?
Hmm. There's a lot I can say. There's no such thing as, in my opinion, as being corny, um, or played out.
Yeah,
Trust your gut, trust your mind. There are a lot of opportunities and events that I used to go to, and I used to be like, nah, this isn't. And now everything does have timing,
yeah,
but are there also times where it's just like he's right in front of you? There's a way that you can approach this person. One is confidence, confidence within yourself, confidence in your product. You
yeah,
got to know, like, bro, I'm the shit. Like, so I'm gonna talk to this person just like I know this person is just like me. He just has more exposure or more experience, whatever it is. So let me approach him with confidence because when you don't have that confidence, it's like the guy. If you have some people just like, bro, come on, man, I don't have no time for this, bro. So I would say in everything that you do, nothing's too corny.
yeah.
And whatever you do, as far as your gift, do it in confidence. Know that you are the shit. Know that anything that you touch, anything that you create is fire. You know what I mean? And don't take advice from anyone who's not even doing nearly half of what you're doing. There are a lot of people who project their fear
Yeah.
onto you and their opinions, and it's like you don't have time for that. I don't got time for that. So that's
Now,
all I got.
putting your stuff out there, your music, your art takes a level of vulnerability to say, all right, man, I hope people rock with what I got. Did you
Yeah.
actually already have that confidence, or was that something that was developed over time?
I already had that confidence. I gotta say, I don't think I really had an issue as far as like posting my music because I know that um I was musically intelligent. So
Yeah.
especially with my dad and where I come from, Camden, New Jersey, and I was raised in a church and I went to a church in Philly and they were like all top-notch musicians. So I'm not gonna I can't afford to put out any trash.
Right.
So I had the confidence just growing up there and I just yeah, I never really had an issue as far as putting out my music. I just knew that I'm like, yo, this is fire. And if this person don't like it, then it's just not for you. It's not tailored to you.
Talk about your music making process, from the before you even like name a song or go on to actually writing on paper. How do you get into the state of saying, all right, this is what I'm gonna create?
Sometimes it just depends. Like if I have like sometimes I'll just have like the whole song in my head. And like I'm talking like perfect example, it was a song that I have a song called Black Mona. And I had the whole track in my head. I had visually, I already knew what it looked like. The colors and everything. I just needed to get to my laptop.
Yeah.
Um, but I usually start with drums because I'm a drummer.
Okay.
So the drums have to hit right. If the drums don't hit right, it's kind of hard for me to continue.
Yeah.
Um, but that's my process. I'll do drums, then melody, and then if anything, when it comes to writing, I start with like the hook, or yeah, I start with the hook, or I just start singing a melody and record it, and I try to write to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, do you mostly work kind of solo, or do you have a team that's behind you?
Um, well, now I have a team behind me. I have like a couple friends who will send me some loops. I opened myself up to collab with other people, but I do have some friends who are musicians. Uh, I play keys. I play keys, but only good enough for recording.
Yeah.
So I bring in other musicians that I know that are really dope, and I'm like, yo, do you hear anything? Do you have any chords? I may hear something that they may play. I'm like, can you do this?
Yeah.
And we just produce, man, and we always come up with something really dope. Like shout out to my guy, Marcellus Sanders. He's one of the dopest bass players. He plays on literally every track that has bass, and he's fire, man. So that's usually how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's good to have at least a few people that are on the same wavelength with you, helping to get your stuff out there. And getting your stuff out there in this day and age is one of the most it's a balance, man, of social media and so many different tactics. Talk about some of the things that you do to market your music to get it seen and get it listened to.
So what I usually do is last year I started creating these mashups online and I just get my camera and I just make some mashups and it started going viral. I gained a huge following with like last year I started out with like 9,000 followers and this year now I'm at like 80K plus
Yes, sir.
because of that. So what I did was I wanted to pull them in to be like, yo, this music is so dope. And
Yeah.
in between, while I'm promoting these mashups, I'm also adding my original music too, so they can know like, oh, he has original music out too. So once I started doing that, the streams started going crazy. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The streaming process, man, a lot that's the new age artist, that's what we have to navigate
mhm.
today. Talk about some streaming tips and tactics that other artists can pick up and learn from that can help them get more streams as well.
um, okay, I have three. I'll start with the first one. The first one is what I did was so I have an account with DistroKid. So anytime I'm about to upload a new song, I make sure, of course, my profile and everything is all together. But what I also do is I go on Spotify to let them know that I have a new song coming out, and I try to get it playlisted. I try to make sure I get it playlisted. Another thing that I do is try to make a reel with just a snippet of the song so it can be replayed. So just whatever the most catchy part of the song is on Instagram or social media or TikTok, whatever it is, I'll put that up. But I only give them a snippet. Um, music syncs also help too. Like music, for for television and stuff. I had a song called "Real Love Ain't Safe." Uh, it got playlisted, but also when I it got synced to the TV show, which show was it? Power.
Nice.
Yeah, got placed on Power. And then I just got a whole bunch of people from Power on YouTube, like, yo, I love this song. And then the streams went up on everything. Uh, so that's always a good way to um get your streaming to just go crazy too. So that's the advice that I have.
Shout out to you for getting it on a show like that, man. You know, we all watch Power, so
Mhm.
that's major. Is that something that you want to continue to do? Is get more TV and film placements?
Absolutely. The music that I make today, uh, it's of course it's catered to my target audience, but it's also catered and made for music scenes, like TV placements, and that's one of my biggest goals. Like I want to get a music placement or a movie placement, I'll say, with Marvel or just a big movie. That's one of my biggest goals, and I also want to work with Pixar. So.
Now, for somebody that's just starting out, but their music might be kind of dope. What is a way that they can go about actually getting some movie and TV film placements?
It's all about the connects. I would say definitely have to you have to get outside. You have to network, uh start following people on social media like music supervisors. You can go on LinkedIn, you can just type in music supervisors or even go on the show. Usually they have the music supervisor on the show and it'll show, under the credits when the TV show is going off. I'll say do that, follow them, see what events they're going to be at and try to connect that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, networking is the name of the game, man. Um,
Absolutely.
in this entertainment, and that has to be learned and practiced, continuously to get better. Do you have any
Mhm.
mentors that you currently work with right now?
Like musical mentors.
I mean, it could be anybody, but yeah, definitely any musical mentors. Someone that's influencing your game right now.
As of right now, not at the moment. And maybe that's what I need. I just need a spark. And I'm doing well as far as my music. I'm being consistent, but I want something that, or a mentor to inspire me, musically, you know?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, absolutely. When you are in the process of creating your music, do you already have like a visual of like how you want the music video to be or how you want the aesthetic to look, maybe even graphics or anything?
sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll listen to the music and you can kind of see visually like where we want to go, or we'll listen to the lyrics and my team and I will listen to the lyrics and be like, oh, okay, we can put this to here, or we know what color can go with this kind of song. This sounds like
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Talk about your favorite place to perform at. Where's been your favorite city and venue to perform at?
Mm. I think my favorite place now is this just like singing? Just singing just in general, or just
Anything, yeah, it could be any venue.
I have to say London.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's both playing drums and also singing.
yeah,
Uh, it's London and Russia actually.
nice.
I had an opportunity to perform in Russia. It was in Moscow, and the audience just received me so well. You know what I mean? It was just I could just be myself. And then when I performed with Summer actually in London.
Nice.
That was probably one of the biggest festivals we've ever done. It was Wireless Fest.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is crazy. Just the way they receive music, it's incredible.
Absolutely. When you performed in Russia, obviously there's a language barrier there and whatnot. Was
Mhm.
it different in any type of way from performing in front of, I guess you could say, your people back home, versus over there?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time? I was
No
my
worries.
Zoom
No
link
worries.
went out. Okay, there we go. Okay, my bad.
In Russia, obviously there's a language barrier there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is it different than performing in front of your people here in Atlanta, in the US than it is over there?
Yes. They in Russia they have someone who translates for me.
Nice.
But they just love just listening to the notes and the melody.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know what I'm saying, but it's just I'll be speaking, and if I mention the name of the song, like one of the songs that I was playing drums and singing is Phil Collins in the air.
Yeah.
And all they heard was da 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 Phil Collins da 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 in the air, and they start screaming. I'm like, that's dope. That's what's up. So yeah,
No, that's very that's top tier. You know, not everybody gets the opportunity to go overseas, and
yeah.
to make an international fan base. So
Hmm.
you know, I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities more for you to get out there and see the world with your gifts, man. Uh,
Absolutely.
Tell people where we can follow you, where we can listen to your music, and how we can get in touch.
You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, all social media. It's under the same name, Remey Williams, Remey Williams. Um, yeah, that's where you can follow me. It was another question you had too, where we can find my music. You can find my music on iTunes, pretty much all DSPs, iTunes, Tidal, Spotify. You pretty much is on it. You got it.
Absolutely. No, Remy, man, this is dope, man. You've got some heavy hitters in your family. You've got some heavy hitters that you've actually worked with. You've done some world tours, and you've got a good purpose behind what you're doing, man. So it's dope to sit here and talk with you. And I hope that we could expose you to some other fans here on the West Coast. You know, West Coast fans tap in. That's another dope episode of Boom Box Weekly. I'm your
Yes,
host,
sir.
Omar Cook. Hey, thank you for joining us, Remy.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.